Near the border where Iowa, South Dakota, and Nebraska come together, there's a simple farmhouse where a seemingly ordinary man makes the most extraordinary handcrafted woodwork in a corner of his basement.
I'm Paul O'Connor, and I'm a retired farmer. I was carving a little bit, I was bitten before, and then I thought, well, if I just like to make a nativity set, but then when I started to sell them, I thought that it would make people think of the Christmas, which is what the nativity set is. In the beginning, I just made one. Then after that, I started to making more. Then I decided I'd try to sell them at a craft fair. And then I made about 3 a year. I enjoy making them for people. Enjoy them a lot. I know they ain't perfect, but it gets harder all the time for me. And I'm 89 years old, so, but I'll keep on for a while yet, as long as I can, I guess.
Self-taught, when he's not carving, Paul paints and does ink drawings as well, illustrating moments in his life, which are often connected to his faith.
This there was the old Catholic church in Homer.
He bases the depictions on photos, recreating scenes like this one, the massive sculpture of Our Lady of Peace in nearby Sioux City. The nearly 90-year-old Army veteran is still very active. It's Sunday morning, and he's attending Mass at the St. Augustine Indian Mission St. Catherine Drexel, founded in nearby Winnebago, Nebraska.
Paul O'Connor is one of those people that's just kind of in the background and one of the bedrock of every parish and every community. First of all, with his love for the community of Homer that he's from, that's been in his life even since before he was born, in his family. But then also, you see in his artwork just the depth of his faith and how much he wants to share his faith and the beauty of God with people. I have admired him, especially the last 6 months when we stopped having weekend masses at his home parish of St. Cornelius in Homer. It was a very tough time for that parish and the parishioners, but he has remained faithful, and he's one of those people that he just wants to do whatever God wants him to do and be wherever God wants him to be.
Despite his reserved nature, Paul gets out into the community, even showing his nativity sets off today, as he does every year at an annual open house at the Dakota County Museum back in Homer. Ahead of Christmas, he also displays them next door at the O'Connor House, his great-grandfather's historic home. Paul is famous for his nativity sets around here.
He shows his love for the church with his hands, with his artwork and his carving and sculpting. I always give him Christmas cookies or strawberry pie and some different items, and you can't just give him something, he has to give you something. And my nativity set has come from Paul. 1 year at a time, he would give me one character, and that's how I got my nativity set.
I have 2 nativity sets made by Paul O'Connor. The first thing that comes to my mind is the talent, but it also is the thought of his ability to see beyond just carving. He sees what it actually should mean to all of us. He put so much time and thought into these. He had no pattern to follow. He did it all on his own. Many of us take God for granted, and each one of he has brought that back. So when you go to pull this out and you go to set it up, you think about why we celebrate Christmas. We don't celebrate it for the gifts, we celebrate it for the birth of Jesus Christ.
And that seems to be Paul's unspoken message to those who see his work, to look forward to Christ's second coming as we remember his first coming every year. In Homer, Nebraska, Alan Holdren, EWTN News In Depth.